In this video, we will look at different components of language. I have the definition of language up here for you, and we will look at the three basic building blocks. The first component of language that we're going to cover is called a phoneme. A phoneme is the smallest unit in a given language that carries sound, and this can be one or more letters combined. For example, S. The sound S would be a phoneme. TH would be a phoneme. You can't separate the T and the H and still get the th sound. CH would be a phoneme. Ch. You cannot separate the C and the H and still get the ch sound. It would be k, h. Each language has their own set of phonemes. The English language has 44. One example is the word chug. Chug has 3 phonemes, so you have to sound the word out to hear them. Ch, g. That gives you 3 phonemes. On the other hand, platypus would have 8. Each single letter actually carries sound. P-l-a-t-m-p-us. So that gives you 8 phonemes. So let's try a few together. Take a minute and pause the video. Number somewhere on a piece of paper 1, 2, and 3. Try to figure out how many phonemes are in the word chin, thing, and car. The word chin has 3. Ch, I, n. You cannot separate the C and the H and get the ch sound. The word thing has 3. Th, I, ng. You can't separate the N and the G and still get the ng sound. Again, a phoneme is the smallest unit that carries sound. Car has 2. K would be 1 and R would be the second. You cannot separate the A and the R and get the R sound. It would be k, a, er. A morpheme, on the other hand, is the smallest unit that carries meaning. So this could be a word like I, meaning myself, or A, meaning an object that carries meaning, or it can be a whole word, like bat. You cannot separate that word and still have meaning. All prefixes and suffixes are also going to be a morpheme. For example, unladylike has a prefix and a suffix. Un carries the meaning of not, lady, a female, adult human, and like having characteristics of. So unladylike would have 3 morphemes. Take a few minutes and number somewhere on a piece of paper from 1 to 6. And try and determine how many morphemes the following words would have in them. Number 1, people. That would be 1 morpheme. You cannot separate that word and have meaning. Number 2, weighted. That would have 2 morphemes. Wait, and then adding the ed makes it past tense. George's. That would be 2. You have George, and then when you add the apostrophe s, you make something possessive. Number 4 has 2, unhappy, un meaning not. Number 5 would have 1 morpheme. You cannot separate the word water and have any other meaning. Compound words will also be included with morphemes. Houseboat, for example, would have 2 morphemes, house and then boat. The last building block of language, or component of language, is grammar. Here we look at 2 different types of grammar, semantics and syntax. First of all, semantics involve changing the meaning of words. For example, if you add an ed, that makes the word past tense, or if you add an es, you're making something plural. So you're changing the meaning of the word. Syntax, you are changing. These are rules for combining sentences and creating meaning out of sentences. For example, In the English language, we put adjectives before a noun. We say happy camper, sad song, White House. In other languages, like Spanish, they put the noun before the adjective. Instead of saying White House, they say Casa Blanca.